What's going on? I said there was going to be a new series on this channel, and here it is, NHL 14. It may seem a little unconventional, but I spent a couple hours editing all the rosters to make the legitimate prospects the way they are and make this as realistic as possible. Why not rookie? We're going to go on All-Star, custom play style. Not 20 minutes. We'll go 8 for now. We're going to go 10 years on the Be a GM with trades on. Trade difficulty is going to be medium. Hard is a little too ridiculous. Waivers are going to be on. Starting rosters, the ones I have loaded currently. Cap penalties, draft pick. Yeah, I'm going to leave draft pick on authentic because I want the picks that they got from the Ryan Callahan trade. I kind of just spoiled who I was going to use. I think I said on Twitter who I was going to use already. GM firing is going to be off. Let's just go through and make sure all of that's correct. Rules. Icing is going to be no touch icing for gameplay purposes because I'm actually going to play quite a few of the games. This is all legit. No and on. We're going to turn that on. Trade, yes, and retired jerseys. Alright. We're not going to be going with Washington as much as I wanted to for a little bit. I'm not going to go with it. We're going with Tampa Bay Lightning, a young team on the rise that I've gotten to see a lot of over the last couple years. Living in the Tampa Bay area, you see a lot of Lightning games, and I'm a sucker for hockey and baseball are really my two favorite sports. That's what I kind of want to make this channel surround hockey and baseball. And I see both Tampa Bay teams, and I see in Tampa Bay a team that's a few pieces away from really being a Stanley Cup contender. You know, they got swept in the playoffs this year. I really attribute that to the Ben Bishop injury because they probably would have won at least a series. You can see I screw around a lot with this too. Should I name this Tampa? Just so I remember what it actually is, because other ones I name like stupid shit, and I can't remember who it actually is, and I gotta look and load it. And for a serious series like these, I'm gonna actually put effort into. You can see, I'm going to show you the roster, what's in the system. I edited a lot of the players. Yeah, a lot of the players, all the prospects for pretty much every team on hockey's future, and like everyone with like a 7 rating, or I knew that was supposed to be really good, got really good. So, or I made really good. So here's our main roster. Well, actually, let's go to roster moves. Let's go to contracts. This is what's currently on the roster. This might change before the season starts, but here we go. We got Steven Stamkos, Ryan Callahan, Victor Hedman. Let's go by forwards. Center specifically. Alright, so Tyler Johnson will not be playing center, so let's get out of there. Steven Stamkos, Ryan Callahan, Valtteri Filppula, Teddy Purcell, Ryan Malone, Andrej Palat. I didn't edit his potential. Whoops. Tyler Johnson, Nikita Kucherov, who I actually bumped down because I think he gets too good too fast in this game, and I don't think he's really going to be that great. Well, as good as he normally gets anyway. He's going to be good, but not that good. So that's our main team. We got BJ Crombie and Nate Thompson on Richard Panik on the main squad, which is probably not going to be true come opening day. In the system is Brett Connolly, who I was really high on until he started to suck. Now I'm kind of like, he's not going to be that good. Killorn, who's a little bit better than this in real life. Well, not 3-star percent. He should be like a 3.5. I didn't edit everyone though. Jonathan Drouin, definitely going to be. I changed him to a playmaker because I looked at his point totals. He only scored 19 goals in the CHL before he got drafted. He still has the high wrist shot accuracy and power, but I just feel like it would work, especially for chemistry. It would work better if Drouin was to be a playmaker and we can use Stamkos as the sniper, which is probably what's going to happen in real life anyway. We got Jonathan Marchessault, Nemes Nico, and a bunch of grinders. Cedric Paquette I also bumped him up, as well as Dana Gauthier, because they're supposed to be pretty good. I bumped Adam Earn down. He was a 4.5 red star. Now he's a 4 green star because he's supposed to get good. He's guaranteed to be at least a 3rd or 4th liner at the NHL level. So I gave him 4 green stars. He's got a really hard shot, a decent passing. He's really well-rounded everywhere, and I like that about him. So we're going to look at defensemen on the roster. We have Hedman, Eric Brewer, Sammy Sallow, and Oland, who is like the worst old combination ever. Matt Carl, who's probably not going to be on the team for much longer, along with Teddy Purcell, too high paid for players of that caliber. Radko Gudas, who's like, I think he rivaled McQuaid for like penalty minute leading all season. Or he couldn't. Michael Koska was not that great. Ollie and Mark Barbario, who I made better because in real life he's supposed to project as a bottom pairing defenseman, but he was like a 2.5 Green Star or something. He's pretty good already. A good offensive defenseman. He's probably not going to start the season with the NHL squad. And then in the system, Brian Lee, Andre Schuster, Dmitry Korobov. I spent like 9 minutes trying to figure out how to pronounce his name. Nikita Nesterov, Slater Cuckoo, who is a lottery pick, so hopefully he can get good. And then this is in the system. I made Bishop an 86 because, and I gave him 4.5 stars, even though he's not going to develop because he had a really, really good season in real life. He's probably gonna, or at least should, win the Vezina. And Lindback is still god awful. And then in the system, Cedric Desjardins and Kristers Gudlevskis. I believe there's a few players we have not signed, though. We'll see who those are. Actually, I don't know. We might not have anyone who's not signed, now that I think of it. Or anyone who's like... I don't think the European players are actually affiliated with the team either, and that might be kind of messed up. If they're in the draft, it's going to be really strange. Plans for this team, really just kind of sit back this year and, like they did in real life, just see how the players do. Just try and test everything out for a year. John Cooper is probably they should win at least. He should at least win Coach of the Year. I can't remember if I changed. I might have to go back and redo this. Yeah, I didn't change Tyler Johnson. He's a two-way forward in this game. But he's got really not that great body checking. He's okay defensive awareness, but he's more of I'd say a sniper. In real life, anyway, he's like a really weird. He's like a really even goal to assist balance. He's like 24 and 26. I just want to see if anyone's unsigned, just to make sure this isn't messed up. Oh yeah, there are unsigned people. Not a lot, but there are. They do exist. So that's the team in overview. So I'm going to try and see how I want the lines to pan out. And then we'll sim a little bit into the regular season, find a game I want to play, and then play it. But first we're going to scout. I did make a few prospects better. I believe that I made... That's really weird. Why did I do it like that? There we go. I believe I made Dakal a 4.5 star because he's predicted to go top 10, I think. And I made this the German guy. I can never pronounce his name correctly. Maybe 4.5 star because he's supposed to go top 5 as well. The mock draft I read the other day actually projected him going to the Buffalo Sabres with the Islanders pick. We're going to scout the Swedish league because they made Kapanen good as well. Says he has no league interest right now, but we're going to go there for a month because there's only 23 prospects. We're probably going to go between him and Nylander because I know a lot about the Canadian prospects already, and I don't plan to pick very high in the lottery. And sometimes when you edit potentials for the European players, their draft stock doesn't... They, like, fall in the draft, which is really strange. Okay. Why is Ollie listed as a minor league top 2? That's weird. Forwards. Good. Definitely going to have to find a top line left wing to play with Stamkos. They had Tyler Johnson doing it most of the year, but again, let's worry about defensemen first. That's something I'm worried about more than anything. We don't have a top 2. That's understandable. Gudas. So these guys can all be sent down. I might keep Koska. Barbario. Definitely going to give Barbario a lot of time in the minors. So really, the only like long-term defenseman we have playing in the NHL right now is Victor Hedman, who's probably going to turn into. He is in real life a top two defenseman in my opinion, and he was like third in the league in points. He scored a lot of goals and had a lot of assists among defensemen. Third in the league in scoring among defensemen. Still nowhere near Eric Carlson, but that's really hard to do. Sammy Salo winding down his career. Brewer, I might have to get rid of Brewer sooner rather than later because he's got 2.5-star potential, which means it's the first year, so the progress reports work properly, briefly anyway. So he's gonna decline like nothing over a short period of time, and I'm not 100% comfortable with that. Olin, he's not getting paid that much as SportsCenter goes off. I'm going to leave Koska up on the squad, though. And if someone's performing poorly, then scratch him. Alright, so I don't want Crombie. I don't want Panic, so we're going to have to call someone up. I guess Crombie might have to be on the Major League, or the Major League, excuse me, the NHL team. Druin's definitely going to be in the minors this year. We know that. So the top line's probably Stamkos, Callahan. Purcell's right-handed, but I might have to play on the left. I'm going to play Callahan on the left wing because he's a grinder, so it really doesn't matter. Although his shot's pretty much the same as Purcell's. He's just the only difference really between him and Purcell is the defensive and physical category. And Callahan's really well-rounded in pretty much every area. He's only got one rating below 70, and that's face-offs. And the only ratings he has below 85 are discipline and fighting skill, which I definitely agree with. I watched a lot of Callahan when he was in New York. My grandfather was a Rangers fan. Second line, we got a lot of problems. It's probably going to be Tyler Johnson, Andrej Palat, and Valtteri Filppula. Because Tyler Johnson can play left wing, or right wing, excuse me. And then we'll have, I don't think I want Kucherov either. See, now this is where we run into a problem. So we're definitely going to have to assign a bottom forward. We're going to call up Crombie, and we're definitely going to send down Panic for now. I could have sworn I might keep Kucherov on the team, but at the same time, he's not really overly great at anything. He's a pretty poor defensive forward. Might not want to play him on the third line. I might play him on the second line and put Tyler Johnson on the third line, right wing, even though he's not that great defensively. That's really a dilemma I'm in right now. So we know like these guys are all locked to make the team, but we don't know like where they're gonna fit. Crombie's gonna be definitely the bottom line. Pyatt, I might play on the third line to get more experience because he's still got potential, whereas Nate Thompson's pretty much capped. Let's go look at free agency. We'll do best lines for now. This is gonna be a longer episode too because it's a setup video. So, and that's how that's gonna be. It's just freaking don't understand the autosave in this game sometimes. Free agency. We're gonna have to trade a few players too to make this work. Ian White, I don't want Ian White. Chad LaRose would be an option. Colton Gillies, good young grinder. Listed as a center. I don't believe he's a center though. Let's sign him. He's with our youth movement. We're gonna sign him for, I guess, 3 years at the max on a two-way deal. Because by then you'll know what he's gonna be. He's probably not gonna turn into anything that special. Worth a shot. And Chad LaRose. We can have 3 grinders on that bottom line. Why do I keep fucking doing that? Chad LaRose. Go up a little bit for him. 1.25. And we're gonna trade prospects, the really bad ones, and just get like 7th round picks or something. Build up GM reps. Who are we rivals with, so we can know who to. Carolina does not like us. We got a great GM rep with Detroit. I don't want to be friends with Florida because there's really no one I want to trade for on their team. Rangers. Why is our relationship considered neutral? We gave him one of the best players in the NHL for pretty much nothing. don't get where they come up with some of these. Washington. Okay, let's get Washington. Let's just take a 7th. What's Ovechkin look like? I don't think I had it in there. See, I don't know why his trade value is max. Feels strange to me. His defense is a little too good too. I might have to go back and fix some of this roster. Kuznetsov, I changed Kuznetsov to a 4.5 star yellow instead because he is projected to be very good. He's had a couple of really strong years in the KHL, I believe. I believe he was in the KHL anyway. They made a couple of other prospects that were rated really low, better. Washington, if you didn't know, which you probably didn't, Washington is my favorite team, mostly because of Alexander Ovechkin. So let's see if they can take on this guy. Looks like it's not going to happen. Oh, whoops. Alright, so Winnipeg can take on people. Can they take on anyone else? They need to clear up at least 2 spots. Yeah, it looks like they can. So let's give them 2 guys they want. So they're more inclined to give us this pick. Although I think they're pretty inclined anyway. Let's see if we can get a 4th. Okay, we got a 4th out of that. We probably shouldn't have, in all actuality, but we did. So that's how that's going to work. Best lines in the AHL. So we are going to sim up until we get those free agents on our roster. Should be about there. Alright, 44 wins this season. That's pretty high. How did we lose a phone? We only have one. 44 wins is pretty high for this team. I guess that's over 500 though. I think it should be based more about points than anything. That's just my personal belief anyway. Here's Gillies and LaRose. Alright, so let's stop simming. We can get them in the lineup before this Boston game. Nope, apparently not. They're off to a rough start this preseason and it continues. Alright. I'm probably not going to include a game in this episode. So our alternates, why is Nate Thompson an alternate? Let's make, we've been on the team a while. Not Malone, I hate Brian Malone. Let's make Victor Hedman an alternate with Matt Carl. I'm okay with Matt Carl being an alternate for the time being. But Victor Hedman and Stamkos are like the 1-2 for, well, I guess and Jerwin. They'd be like your best players going forward for the next at least 5, probably 10 years, depending on what happens with Hedman. They're definitely going to pay Stamkos, but Hedman's a different story, probably. I'd assume so anyway. Alright, let's see. So we need to get Chad LaRose and Colton Gillies up on the team. I think we need to send someone down quick too. Can't have Panic and Connolly on the same line either. That's going to be an issue. So we have a lot of centers. Jesus. Thompson, Pyatt, Gillies. I wasn't paying too much attention to all of that. I gotta get up the. I'm gonna go online book. Turn up the line chemistry chart thing. I gotta turn injuries off too. Hope no one got injured like long term. The thing is though, it didn't say that I had to replace anyone in the lines, so I'm gonna assume that's a good thing. Let's send him down. So these guys are all right. So we got 3 4th liners, so that'll work. He's good at face-offs. Alright, let's edit the lines right here so we can figure this out. Alright, so we got Purcell, Stamkos, and Callahan. I don't know if that line combo will work. I know the second line will. I want to get Pyatt in the center of this line, and LaRose will play left there. Tyler Johnson on the right wing. I think power forward, two-way forward works. Maybe it doesn't. Grinder, two-way forward. Alright, that's our third line. Playmaker, sniper. Where's Grinder? Oh, playmaker, grinder, sniper. That's what we got as our first line. Playmaker, sniper. I know is a really good combo. What's Kucherov shoot right, I think, right? Left. So we want him on the left wing, actually. Well, actually, I might have that backwards. I'll check in a second. Grinder, two-way forward. To the third line. Malone, alright. Power forward. Wait, where's power forward on this chart? There's no power forward like anywhere. I guess you don't want power forwards on your team. Two-way forward. So we need to get a two-way forward in there instead of Malone. Let's see if we can flip Malone for a two-way forward really quick. That's the line combos for Hut, by the way. I find that you have the best results when you use those line combos to try and build your team, even in a BGM. It does make a lot of difference. So we need to flip Malone for a two-way forward, which will also provide cap relief. Although he's probably not worth that much, to be honest. He's left wing. Wish you can change positions like in this game too. Boston. What are they giving up? They're giving up. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Alright. Joe Morrow. We trade for him down the road, but not right now. They're not interested. Chicago is just giving away prospects. I like to look at these teams first, and then look at what they're giving up. No. Matt Cullen. Is he a player type? Two-way forward. Perfect. Does the trade value add up? How long is his contract? I believe it's 1 year. 2 years. And Malone's is also 2 years. If I'm not mistaken. 2 years. So we'd be saving $1 million for the next team. So let's see if they take this trade straight up. They don't want to take on Ryan Malone's side. I feel like that's going to be the big deal. Let's take $500K of it back. We see you're trying to... Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. So we're just going to have to deal with that line combination. It's not the worst thing in the world if they don't match up perfectly, but oh well. I'm going to hit the lines quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we have finished with our lines for the crunch. So who do we want to play? I don't want to play Boston on opening day. A little bit. I want to play at home first, though. Let's play Boston here on the 19th of October. But first, we got to get through the preseason. See what kind of stats people put up in the preseason. Has 7 games, 4-0 so far. Tyler Johnson's looking pretty good on the right wing. We beat them 1-0. Terry Filipino doing pretty good in the preseason. 4 assists. Tyler Johnson scored 8 goals. I gotta turn injuries off too. Otherwise, I'm gonna get screwed. I feel like someone already got injured too. And I would keep injuries on if it wasn't for the dumb way they handle them, where they have to, if they're out with like a flu and you don't play a game that day, you still have to go in and edit every single line, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I'd do it if I wasn't simming so much. I'd probably still sim a good amount. I'm not gonna be like all sim like everyone else is, or simming. We're gonna do a quick sim here just so I can check the stats without it simming past the preseason. Looks like we're gonna lose. Yep, we lost 4-0. This Anders Lindback was playing. That's another thing. I gotta make sure Ben Bishop is our day 1 starter, which he should be. I feel like the sim's not that stupid. So we went 6-1 in preseason. So after starting out 6-0, we lost the last game. So let's see how our lines did in the preseason, which is never really a determining factor, but, you know, look at it anyway. So, in 7 games, Tyler Johnson had 8 goals and no assists. Purcell had 6 assists. Filipino. Stamkos scored 5 goals, pretty good. So did Hedman scored 3. Looks like there was really like a selective amount of goal scoring. It's weird. DiPietro was playing for the Florida Panthers, I guess, in this franchise. Via GM, I'm sorry. Let's switch Bishop. So our Vegas started. Alright, Boston. I think I skipped past it, I did. October 19th. We're going to play Boston October 19th. You're going to remember that. Conference semis this year. Means we got to make it to the second round. Something they weren't even able to do in real life. Come on. Also going to look at trades probably in the next episode. I want to do something relating to the sim. Oh, they have Soderbergh on their main team this year. Vector Hedman scored 2 goals. We're at -7 GM rep right now, which is really strange because I don't think we really did anything. Well, we made that one trade. But I'm going to look at trade options for Purcell and Matt Carl because I don't want to keep this like no sim, no gameplay, or like no gameplay, all sim. Or no sim, all gameplay. I kind of want to like mix it up. What did we get about Kapanen? Nothing yet. We did not get anything about him. So let's go to the Elite League and find out about down here. I think that if you, I'd assume this is true anyway. If you go into scouting and you like leave on, when you leave, there's like a you're on the player you want to scout. It has like a higher probability of scouting it. I don't know the legitimacy of that claim, but I feel like it would be true. We went 6-3 against Florida, our interstate rivals, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who were not doing so hot to start out. They're 2-2, but it is just the start. They're 2-3 now. Stamkos 6 assists. We're gonna see how the first about month of the season went. We're 5-1, and I feel like we shouldn't be, but we are. Palmerville's off to a 10-point streak, playing like he's in Buffalo. He probably got a bunch of points in that game too. Well, 7-3. I am gonna guarantee that's a Lindback game right there. That's not the kind of game that Ben Bishop would put up. I think he's on the cusp of elite this game. I'd assume anyway. He's not gonna get another jump. So, all right. In 7 games, Stamkos 2-8, 6 points, 5, 5. That's really good for defense. Defense is doing really good to start out. Tyler Johnson's got 4 assists. Cherov has only 2 assists in 7 games. He's playing second line time. That may become a problem in goalies. Oh, Lindback only played that 1 game, so it must have been a Ben Bishop game. Actually, we're going to go past this Boston game, and this episode's been really long. I'm going to open at home. I wanted to. Might not be able to. I'd have to play the Blues or the Oilers, and they're both Western teams. Actually, let's play St. Louis' return to Tampa Bay. A place where he spent most of his career, became a relevant player. He was never going to be relevant for Calgary, I don't think. Anyway. People forget he even played for Calgary. Alright, we lost 4-1. That's a little more realistic. Not Boston scoring 4 goals, but us losing to a good defensive team like Boston. Stamkos did assist on the only goal there. He's got a lot of assists. I believe his career high in assists is 40 something. It was like a low 40 though. He's always been the more the goal scorer than anything. We beat Chicago 1-0. A great game by Ben Bishop. Right there. Buffalo, doing pretty good to start out. Jonas Enroth's got all 6 of their wins. And we beat them 7-3. Good God. Florida. I want to play Florida at some point this season, too. Or maybe not this season, but in a couple years when they get at least good. Not like great, but good. We're not doing so hot. Kucherov looks like he's picking it up, though. He's got 5 goals. He had none, like 3 games ago, but we've also been losing. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. And we're around 500. But Stamkos having a really good season so far. We're about to be at 500 exactly. We're doing really bad. I think we're on like a 5-game losing streak, or 4 games, and it ended right there. Stamkos dishing out the assists. 11 assists in 13 games. Maybe he's the playmaker. Not the sniper. Steven Stamkos. Look at Edmonton. 11 goals for Taylor Hall and 17 assists for Nugent Hopkins. But Mark Fraser's already played 43 penalty minutes. And we lost. In regulation. Can't lose in regulation so much. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good time. David Legwand making more of a contribution in this game to the Red Wings than he did in real life. 3-2 win. Kucherov scored. Stamkos got it, I think, an assist. Yeah. We beat Boston that time. We were going to take one from them eventually. We reached 10 wins already. Montreal doing much better than us this season. They're a dirty team. Corey Perry, 20 points already. Ducks are not doing so hot, but they beat us. So Stamkos, 21 points. Or 20 points, not 21. That is not 21. Leading us in all categories so far besides penalty minutes, which is not a category you want your top line center to be leading you in. Unless you are tanking. Which I'd assume you'd want your top line center to do that then. QM. We were not in the QM. Yeah, we were not in the QM. What the hell? He's doing that stupid thing again. Alright. Did it work this time? We got a little bit about him. He's definitely not that good. I know, I edited SMD guys. So let's try the captain this time. Oh, not 1 week though. 1 month. Hopefully that works a little bit better. I kind of want to draft captain in a little bit. We got a good stretch right there. I can play any of those 3 games and gotten a good gameplay probably. LA off to a really rough start. 4-1 win over them. Stamkos lighting it up. Plus 15 too. We have Eric Brewer already with 48 penalty minutes. I feel like that's going to become an issue. Wow, we outscored the opposition 8-1 over the last 2 games. Stamkos MVP type season developing. Even though that's not that impressive. Well, for Stamkos, it's really good, but it's not like 100. He's not on pace for 100 points. He's point a game, but Gretzky was like 2 points a game. I'm saying that's 2 completely different eras of hockey, but all right, Callahan's starting to suck a little bit. Hedman's got 13 points, which is second best on the team. Tyler Johnson got a goal and 11 assists. Kucherov's doing okay. He's on the second line. The second line's not doing so hot. It's definitely the top line that's a problem. Stamkos is doing really good, but he also doesn't play power play with Ryan Callahan, because Ryan Callahan's not on the power play. Pallett's doing, I guess, decent. I don't know. Who's playing on the second line? Johnson. Johnson's playing on the third line, I think. Yeah, Tyler Johnson is playing on the third line. He's got that many points. Okay. I'm not expecting these guys to do that good, especially Gudas. Gudas has a low amount of penalty minutes, too. Brewer, I'm not happy with, because he is playing top pairing, I believe. Might switch him and Matt Carl. Carl's doing pretty good. I want to keep Sal on the second pairing. Oh, I didn't look at goaltending either. St. Louis is leading their team in assists storyline. I'm going to come up with like a whole thing for next episode. Get back at this. Alright. Really good start for Ben Bishop. 2 goals against averages, 11-8 with a 9.36. That's a really good numbers. That's got to be almost tops of the league. I want to check. That's points. What the hell? Goals or save percentage. Let's look among qualified. Yeah, it's the best among that, and Ramos sucks. I'd say definitely Emery would probably qualify for that, but Bishop would only be third in that discussion. Alright, next episode, taking on the Rangers. They're having a really good start. They've won 2 more games than we have, but other than that, they have a pretty identical record. We'll be looking at trades next episode, too. So stay tuned for more of this new, innovative, for this channel anyway, NHL series.